Welcome to Ronathan Plays and Probes, where I bring you tabletop gameplay, commentary with insights, analysis, and opinions. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alrighty, in today's video, we do not have a play and probe for you. Instead, we are coming to you live, recorded live, in my kitchen, since this is the best room currently in this heat wave in Los Angeles. But this is going to be a special video. This is a comment and contemplate video. So what do we got to comment and contemplate on? Well, we got the UK Games Expo this weekend, and the Ministry of Dice is putting on a Dice Masters tournament for that, in which they have prize support thanks to WizKids as well as the UK Games Expo for their own prize support. So without further ado, let's go into what's happening. First of all, Infinity Gauntlet is going to be eligible for this. However, the UK has not received their product. To get around this, they have allowed proxies for all the cards except for one, Typhoid Mary. Since she does not have a comparable crossover die that would work, or a compatible crossover die that would work, they just decided we're going to ban all Typhoid Marys, which I think is just fair to everyone who's going to play, as well as let's get that rare Typhoid Mary out. That's essentially a 4-cost Shriek at this point, so instead of having to play the Shriek game, that's done. So good on the Ministry of Dice for figuring out a solution so that everyone can be on a even playing field for this. Now, what I want to talk to you about is what I see as potential win cons for this event. Now, more than likely, we're going to definitely see the Godcatcher and Becky Lynch, that's for sure, right? That's what's happening in this meta, and nothing's been changed. No erratas, no bans, so Becky and Godcatcher are going to be in here. How rampant will they be? We don't know, but there may be a contender for that, and that is going to be the super rare Thor. I got a feeling we're going to see about 75-80% of the teams are going to be rocking either Becky Lynch, Godcatcher, or the super rare Thor. What we're also going to end up seeing is just some of the regular control pieces that are in the mix. Some of the regular control pieces that we're going to see is definitely Black Widow Agent, Poison Ivy Red, plus along with from this set, we're definitely going to see Rare Drax, which is the old 4-cost blob that only targets character cards, and we are going to see the Rare Spider-Man, which are both two excellent control pieces that came out from the Infinity Gauntlet set. Will we see any more? We don't know, but these are some of the basic things that you're going to see on some of the winning teams. Either they're going to have one of these win cons at the top, or they're going to have as well. I don't want to say or, as well as one of these control pieces to at least slow their opponent down while they try to complete their objective. And then finally, each team is going to need a bit of ramp and support. So we're definitely going to see Walk with Elias and Professor X. This is currently the best ramp that is happening. We are going to see Atlas along with Villainous Pact. That's going to happen because, hey, if you can control your bag, just constantly always drawing 5 dice and having just excellent bag management, I don't see why this isn't going to make it onto some of the more competitive teams. And also we're going to see Xanathar. Now, Xanathar is a bit underrated, but to be able to prep a sidekick die, not only on your turn, but on your opponent's turn, is going to be huge. So I think that's just going to be a sneaky little ramp support that you're going to see on our teams, on all teams. And then finally, we're going to see that new Collector. I mean, any version of the Collector is going to be good. I mean, just to do the old Professor X from the X-Men First Class set just to prep a sidekick die is going to be huge. And in conjunction with thinning out your field, this is going to be very deadly with that super rare Thor. But I do feel that that people are forgetting that there's other win cons out there. Now, along with Becky, Godcatcher, and this new super rare Thor, it would be nice to see one of these other ones take it. Now, I may or may not be running one of these. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some play testing. No shame if you're running one of the main pieces. I'm not here to criticize that. But it would also be nice just to see, like, oh yeah, by the way, we got some other win cons, and let's see what's happening here. We still got Iceman. We still got the Green Lantern. And we do have Hope Rachel, which hasn't seen much play in a while. Maybe that might make a sneaky play coming up here in the UK Expo. Do we got to prepare for that? Our team's going to be running Istrid to counter that? Who knows? But also as well too, who's going to be running Jubilee on their teams? I mean, there's two legitimately good Jubilees that you can run. It's the when fielded 2 damage, or when you attack with each other bolt character die, you get to deal 1 damage other than for each Jubilee. And if you have multiple Jubilees in the field, they add up, as I ran in my one-shot over the weekend. And we also have these complementary pieces that are not necessarily like, they're not the closer. They might be the closers to the game, which is going to be, you got Eddie Guerrero, Ice Steel, that 3-cost blob that clears out sidekicks. Danny Moonstar with Doomlance can just wreck teams. As well as the combination of Heenan Bloat Drone, and we haven't seen this card in a while, still legal, Venerable Dreadnought. Now I know that we got Black Widow Agent that can stop that, and I don't know if I mentioned that up there, that's one of the control pieces that you're probably going to end up seeing on teams. But these are cards that we shouldn't sleep on, and hopefully they'll be able to get some play as well as dominate. Now, for sure, you're going to probably see Eddie Guerrero to stop those static fields out there, but it would be nice just to see some of those other ones as well, too. One other thought, and this is kind of an interesting, just doing Infinity Gauntlet drafts, is that don't sleep on the Villainous Pact basic action. I'm not talking about the global, I'm talking about the basic action. Since a lot of the control villain pieces are gone, and we have Infinity Gauntlet came with Black Order instead of like making them villains, that is actually now a more viable win con, because now your opponent can only choose 1 non-villain to block, and if you can ensure that your opponent doesn't have static field or can't use static field that turn, you can send through unblockable damage that turn. I know that that's happened quite a few times in draft games, and if you don't load up at least 1 villain on your team, you might be susceptible to this. So keep an eye out just in case if somebody's going to run that Villainous Pact win con. Now, what do I hope out of this tournament? Well, I'm looking to have fun. Me now as, just trying to up my YouTube game and stream. I'm just looking to have fun. Of course, I'd like to win it. I got to earn it. But it would be fun to win it. But I hope from this tournament, WizKids is able to collect some data on this. And the data that I want them to collect is on the top tier teams, because I still got a feeling that it's just going to basically be Godcatcher, Becky Lynch, and with the outside chance of super rare Thors dominating. Now, why do I say this? I still feel I made a video about the stale meta earlier on replying to the Ministry of Dice's other video. However, I hope that they can use the data from what's happening in this tournament to realize that the 5-cost Becky Lynch and the Godcatchers, both Godcatchers, need to be eroded at least to change them from 10 damage to 7 damage. Just to be able to swing in with 2 and clear an opponent's field is going to be deadly. So we'll see how many people are going to be running Godcatcher. I could be running Godcatcher. I could be running Becky. I haven't decided yet. It just depends on what I think could be competitive and win. And along with that, I floated this idea of this limited wish list out there, and I've since started with a bunch, and I've kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and so you'll see it up here as far as what this limited wish is going to look like. And what I'm hoping is that, hey, when we have like nationals, UK, other countries, these big events, that 2 cards that are basically the win con, that it helps seal the fate of a team like winning, I hope that they just kind of get put on this limited wish list where it's just like, hey, you know what? You can use only 1 of these cards from this list. You can't use multiple of them. So that way that kind of refreshes the meta and keeps the game going longer and more enjoyable. So especially for newer entries, they can come into this game, especially now we got draft packs. So when we lift orders where we can start playing in stores, the game would just be a little bit more appealing when we start having them create and brew their own teams, and it's going to force us to be more creative when we brew our teams for win cons. And exactly like Final Ross Battle talked about, like what he likes about Dice Masters, it's just constant just chess match. You make a move, I make a move, in this constant back and forth, not where it's just like boom, I just laid it out there and I can just take you out just like that. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk to you about is supporting the Ministry of Dice and other content creators. Now, specifically, support the Ministry of Dice from this because, hey, we're going to probably have some winners out there from the states that are going to be playing in this game and participating, and postage is going to be very expensive. So in order for them to make sure that, hey, they don't break their bank trying to send out prizes just posting it to anybody, I feel it's going to be very important that we just go out there and we support them. So I'll put their website below, and they talked exactly about this. Like, hey, could you help us out with this? And I feel that that's something that, sure, no problem. There's two current Dice Masters content creators that I support monthly, and I feel that this is something that our community, if you're not doing so, we should do more of, because, hey, we have this thing where we support our fun-loving or friendly local game stores by, instead of like, hey, buying that product for like $49.99 from Amazon, we'll pay $55 from our local game store and give them their money. After all, they're the ones who's going to be hosting our tournaments. We're going to be buying product, and just to keep their lights on, that's what we do. But we also have these wonderful content creators. Just to name, besides Ministry of Dice, we got CR Game Room, Final Ross Battle, DM Armada, DM North. If I'm forgetting any off the top of my head, I apologize. Rolling Thunder XYZ. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget Arj. I play with that guy. So we got wonderful content creators out there, and I feel that this is something that that we should do to support them, like we do with our local game stores. We should support content creators because, hey, they're the ones that have been especially organizing online events during COVID. You never know what's going to happen with them because of the fact that, oh, hey, they have a camera issue and they got to buy a new camera. And, hey, if they had an extra $100, boom, that just kind of takes care of that. So that's just something I feel that would probably be good for them in the long run, since they're producing so much content, gathering our community, trying to grow our community. So I'm going to link a bunch of people below. I'm sorry if I forgot any of you, but I just want to say, hey, let's continue to not only support our FLGSs, but let's support our content creators too. Thanks for hearing me out, and let's have a good time this weekend at the UK Games Expo. Bye. Just some final thoughts out there on why I made this video. First of all, I think it's just fun just to go over when we have a big tournament, hey, what are some of the cards that we're going to see? So if you already know what we're planning on seeing, that's fine. But I also wanted to make sure that this is accessible to everyone in our audience. Not just the super competitive people, but the mid-tier, like casual competitive people that play in our competitive events that are looking to one-up their game. If I can help them realize just some of the cards that are out there that they can have fun with and just make it a better play experience for them, then I hope I can do that for them as well too. And the other thing that I made this video for with in mind is that this needs to be accessible to new players. And so for new players, making that dip from casual to competitive, they need to know what's out there. And hopefully this is just a step in the direction from a player who's a casual player thinking about, maybe I'll give it a shot at a competitive event. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for listening to my final thoughts.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.